What a frustrating world I live in. Fuck's sakes. So yesterday at work, one of the bosses was like, "Oh, you're not gonna flag for us anymore." Just out of the blue. I was like, okay. So I was expecting a call from Diversified. I actually phoned. And I haven't been called off. So I'm gonna show up for work today. I don't care what this fucking dude says. And I'm gonna get, if I get turned around, I still get paid 4 hours for showing up. Nobody's called me off. And so, yeah, I think it's just one guy that heard rumors that has a personal fucking vendetta against me now because his head's filled with lies that I'm such a horrible person. And you know, I'm this close to leaving on Friday. It's Wednesday today, or Tuesday today. And I really want to just take what I have and fucking go. I can't tolerate this bullshit anymore. It's so frustrating trying to live my life, surviving what I have, and having people spit in my face because I survived. And being told that, you know, I'm some sort of horrible fucking baby killer. Meanwhile, I mean, how many times did I go to the doctors telling them that I was pregnant and them lying to me? How many times did I go into the ER saying I was in pain? How many times did I go for pap smears that were abortions? And, you know, I think back then and I think about how I was and how helpless I felt and how I never fought them after, you know, showing up so many times being raped and being told you're delusional and, you know, telling them that your sterilization implants fell out after you were raped and you're pregnant and you need a morning after pill or some birth control, and being denied and told it was impossible that I was pregnant, and ended up having Travis. And, you know, I get beaten and thrown downstairs and I wake up to being smothered and kicked. And so I go in for what I think is an abortion only to find out they cut the placenta into pieces. So when I was in pain that night and I went into labor, when I pulled placenta out of the toilet, it was cut into pieces, and I thought it was just afterbirth. And I ended up flushing my baby down the toilet. You know, and it took me 5 years to get, I'm not even over it, to be honest. I'm not. I don't like abortions. I don't believe in them. I believe in birth control. I believe in, you know, the thing is, if you're getting abused like I was and drugged like I was, that baby was getting drugged too. And so that's why I was going in for all these abortions and being told they're pap smears and then being treated like shit because I'm showing up for all these abortions with drugs in my system. And just the fact that I held down jobs while I was getting beaten and raped, and I'd take 3 kids to school and go to work, and then I had 2 jobs, so I went in the morning for one job, and then I'd pick up the kids, feed them dinner, go to my second job, and Darcy was supposed to come home and take care of them, and he never did, so I ended up having to quit my second job, and then we didn't have enough food to put on the table, so I waited till the youngest one was actually old enough for school, and then I went out and got another job. And we lived broke because he was just mething it out. And I think how I kept that house together, and I think how I, you know, was there for those boys every fucking day. And I mean, their dad was filling their head with lies. They'd see me get raped, and their dad would just tell them that I'm a whore and I'm on drugs, and the kids lost respect for me, and they wouldn't listen to me. And man, I love those boys, even to this day. And I don't know. Today I'm sitting here with a year's worth of recordings, doctors notes, sick notes, fucking notes saying I don't have parasites, notes saying that I'm delusional, that I don't have any kids. My last psychiatrist phone call I recorded, and that's the one phone call I'm gonna play for the lawyer. Just so, like, cause it's such a long story, it's so hard to put into words. And when I tell it, it sounds so fucking crazy. But if I have my actual doctor and a conversation with my actual doctor recorded, saying I'm part of the study, saying how frustrated I am, saying I have parasites, saying I'm treating myself with horse dewormer, and her admitting that, yeah, try probiotics, yeah, it must be frustrating, and so proud of you for everything that you survived. And you know, I don't know. So depends on how today goes. If I can work the rest of the week, that would be awesome, and if I could stay working, that would be awesome. But I don't believe I will be. I think this fucking character from work that's supposed to supervise me when I'm flagging is going to ruin my flagging career. So, fuck him. And I'm just going to take whatever I got for my paycheck on Friday and I'm going to leave. And hopefully, fingers crossed, put an end to... I'm 40. I had my first child at 9. Years of doctors' lies. Years of my mother's lies. Just years of being lied to and manipulated and treated just like all I ever was to anybody was a paycheck. And, you know, it was really hard for me to get over what my choices were and what I had done. And the realization, well, it's not like I knew what I was doing. So, like, I always thought it was afterbirth. So it wasn't until after Darcy would take me to, like, a graveyard or he would throw my baby in a fire. And that's how I'd find out that I had a miscarriage. The pain became so normal after 7 years of constantly being in stomach cramping, constantly I bled throughout my pregnancies. I go to doctors, they tell me I'm delusional. I don't eat the food he gives me. I do my best to try to protect these babies inside me, so I have to protect myself. And, I think back and I was like, it was my house. I had my name on the lease. I could have fucking locked the door and not let him back in. And then I think about the reality of it. There was a cop right outside. And if he came home and kicked that door open and came in all pissed off and beat the fuck out of me, the cop would just sit there and watch. Everything would have gotten so much worse. So, I'm ready to end this fucking part of my life and move on. And I don't think it's going to be in Alberta. I'm going to cross a couple borders and we shall see what the future holds.